Hi everyone, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how I made these super lightweight little Christmas ornaments. And these were so easy to put together, and they're made with cardstock and just images printed on presentation paper. So with that said, stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how I made these. Okay, I'm going to be using the Beacon Fabri-Tac, and I think this is really important to have because this is the perfect glue. It does not leave a lot of lumps and bumps and wrinkles underneath your paper. And you can pick this up on Amazon, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Walmart. They had this little 2-ounce bottle at Walmart when I was there yesterday, and it was $6 and something cents. They also have the 4-ounce, and I think that was $9 and something cents. So if you can get a hold of this, that would be great. Now, we're going to be using 3 of our circles for each ornament, okay? If all you have is 80-pound cardstock, just use 4 circles instead of 3. That's the only thing you have to do. Okay, now I cut about 10 inches of this metallic bead thread, okay? And I bought this from Michael's a long time ago, many years ago, and they still have it on the roll. It's not stretchy, it's just bead cord. Don't get the knotting cord. The knotting cord is way too thick, and when you go to slip this in between your circles, it's going to show up, all right? So just get the thread, the real thin thread, okay? All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the outside of the circle because the edges are really the most important as far as gluing together. And then we're just going to put here and there in the middle. Okay. We put our lid on in between so it doesn't dry out. Okay, now I'm just going to make kind of a loop shape here with a cord, and we're going to place it right there. Okay. Just going to turn this over like that. Now I'm not going to press this on, I'm just going to drop it on because I want to make sure that I have it in the right place before I actually press it down. And we want to make it nice and even like this. And then when you think you have it, then you can press straight down like that. Okay, and make sure you kind of squeeze the top. Okay, like that. Just kind of squeeze it together. Okay, so now you're going to take your third circle and you're going to place that on here. Do the same thing. Start with the edges like this. Okay. Put my cap on and drop this circle on here. Make sure it's even, and then press it down like that. Make sure there's no glue around the edges. Okay. Now if this dries and you happen to see like a tiny little glue dot or something like that, just take like a little nail file and just very gently just kind of file it off, because if you don't, it's going to leave a bump when we put the pictures on. Okay, so we're going to allow this to dry thoroughly, and get my words out. Oh my gosh. the longer you allow it to dry, the stiffer this will become. So allow it to dry thoroughly, and then we'll be back, okay? Okay, so to start, I used this Epson presentation paper in matte, and this works specifically with inkjet printers. I'm not saying it won't work with laser, I'm just saying that, that it'll work really well with all inkjet printers. And there's two sides to this paper. One side is a little brighter white than the other, and it's also smoother and slicker, and that's the side you'll use to print on. And it will tell you this in the back of this box. Now, I bought this for $9.86 on Amazon, and I didn't pay shipping because I have Amazon Prime, and it was delivered the next day. And I will tell you that there's 100 sheets in here, and so this really does go a long way, and it prints so beautifully. And I'll show you that part right now. Let me set this aside. Okay. I printed these 2.5-inch vintage circles on this paper. I bought the print from Mon Bon Bon on Etsy for $2.89, and you go in and just download the link that is sent to you after you pay, and I'll show you exactly how I printed it out too in the next part of this video. Now, if you already know how to print it out, that's fine, just skip that part, but these are for the ones that are wondering, okay? Now, I have to tell you, my HP inkjet printer is a very old printer. It's not a new one, it's an old one. And look how beautiful this printed out still. And I just love these images. Aren't they adorable? And this is the name of the shop, Mon Bon Bon, on Etsy. And if you want to look around for 2.5-inch circles, you can. And I say 2.5-inch circles because that's what we're using today, but they have them in 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, you know. So I just happened to have a 2.5-inch paper punch, so that's why I went with this. And so when I was looking for images, this is the words, the keywords that I put into my search bar. And you can pause this video and copy it if you'd like. And a whole bunch of these popped up. And let me tell you, it was really hard to choose because there are so many adorable images for Christmas. Not just vintage, but beautiful ones too. Okay, so I won't take up any more of your time with that. This is the 2.5-inch circle punch that I used. Mine is by EK, and I purchased this on Amazon as well, but it was not cheap with tax and everything. It was about $19. There are other 2.5-inch circle punches, and I believe that Hobby Lobby carries them, so when they go on sale, which is generally a couple of times a month, you can pick it up then if you'd like. I will tell you that with this one here that I ordered, the EK, it cuts like butter, and it's really nice. I'll have to show you just to give you an idea. See, now I'm using the 110-pound white cardstock, okay? And I also have a link to that if you want to order that on Amazon. And all of this will be on my blog, of course. Just click on, well, you don't have to click on it actually, just scroll down a little and you'll see the picture of my project, and my links will be there, okay? And if you're having trouble finding them still, you can always email me at happybirdsglitternest@gmail.com. Okay, so I'll stop my yakking, and like I said, this is pretty thick, all right? Now watch. Look how easily that cut. Just beautiful. Okay. Okay, so, all right, so we'll go to the next part of the video where I show you how to print this out, and if you don't want to watch it, just skip that part. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to show you what I did. So the first thing I did was open up these images right here on my computer. Then if you look in the corner here, and I will do a close-up, you'll see what says File, Print, Email, Burn, and Open. Okay, you're going to click on Print right here. And when you click on Print, you're going to see this. Okay, it's going to open up for you. Alright, now of course we want full page, so we click on that. And then right here it says paper type. Gives you a little drop down bar. You want specialty paper, best quality. Okay? And then make sure that this little box is checked, okay, where it says fit picture to frame. And then you just go down here and click on print, and there you have it. So that's all you do. So I hope this helps you a little bit. Okay, so while we're waiting for our cardstock to dry, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I cut these out, okay? Now this particular seller, some of these, as you can see, look how close they are together. These two circles, these two circles. Seems to be mainly at the tops and the bottoms. Okay, so what I did to help with that, I'll give you an example. So I took a pair of long blade scissors and I was careful to cut right in the middle of the line. And as you can see, it just makes it. And that way you don't have any that are punched out, like cut off at the top. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, and you have to do that with all these circles. Now, this is the bottom of the page and the sides of the page, so I'm going to cut a little bit off here so I can slide my punch in. It won't be so far away from the image that I can't, you know, center it. Okay. So, alright, now I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to slide this in here. And you see how the top, there's not much at the top here? Okay, not much at the bottom. So I'm just going to kind of even it up, the top and the bottom first. Sides seem to be okay, but it's mainly top because I don't want any that looks like there's a part missing. Okay. Okay, see, and it's fine now. It's just fine. But I had to be careful. Alright? Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing with all of these. Okay, be looking at the bottoms and the tops. Alright, as you go along. And I'm going to punch out all these circles, and you can do yours, and then I'll be back. I have a little tip to show you too. So let's say, if you can see this, it's kind of cut off at the top here. It's straight, okay? Well, you can come back in around and just cut off the piece with your little detail scissors that's sticking up, just on the two corners. And then take a fingernail file and just gently smooth it around it, like that. And look, it disappeared. So that's just a little tip. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now all of our little circles are dry. So if you feel like you need to kind of file the sides a little bit, you can. Make it all nice and even, all the way down. And as soon as you do the sides, do this at the at the very edge like that on both sides to make sure you have everything off, okay? And it just makes it nice and smooth all the way around. And then do the edges, and then turn it over and do the edges. Just like this. Okay. Alright, I think that looks good. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our Fabri-Tac and, you know what, let me put this down a little. Okay, and then we're going to put some Fabri-Tac right around the edges here. That's the most important, like I said. And then just a little bit in here. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to line this up and by looking at the cord and where that is. And then just kind of moving it around. So I think that would look good hanging like that. So I'm just going to press this down, okay? Now, I want to touch it up with a tiny bit of glitter, not an overload, just a tiny bit. There's two ways you can do this. You can use stickles in diamond and just do a few details, and that'd be fine. But today, for me, I think I'm going to use this Elmer's clear glue. It's completely clear. I poured a little bit of it into this little fine tip syringe type bottles. Okay, and you can see it's very tiny, and you can pick up these type bottles on Amazon or eBay. Some of the craft stores have them now. And then you're going to need some ultra fine glitter, okay, iridescent glitter. And what I'm going to do, I think, I might do just a touch around her collar, like this. You don't want to put a ton of glitter, but just enough to give it some sparkle. And maybe on her wings here. Like that. And so then I'm going to take my iridescent glitter and, oops, I just closed the bag. And I'm just going to sprinkle some on, hold on, and I'll show you in a moment. Okay, I sprinkled some on and tapped it off. Now, of course, as this dries, the glue will shrink, and so it won't stick out quite as much. But see, sometimes that's all you need is just a little sparkle, okay? Now we're going to let this dry thoroughly before we go on to the next step, all right? And I'll show you an example of one other I did off camera. See, I just put sparkle on the Christmas tree. I think I can do her wings too. I might go ahead and touch that up with just a tiny bit of sparkle. Okay, and then you're going to let these dry thoroughly. Alright, and after you do that, then I'll be back and I'll show you what else to do. Okay, so as you can tell, this is dried. And so now we're going to decorate the edges. with this white pom-pom trim that I bought from Hobby Lobby. Looks like this. And they do have this in other colors. They have a light pink, which I should have picked up, and a light blue. They have red, all different kinds of colors. And you get, let's see, yeah, 3 yards. So you can make 13 of these ornaments, 2.5-inch ornaments, and you'll have a little bit left over on the spool. Now this will go on sale a couple of times a month. Just wait for the flyers to come out, and it should say like all ribbons, tools, you know, things like that, trims on sale for half off. Okay, so I cut, for each ornament I cut 8 inches. Alright, and I already pre-cut this right here. Alright, and we're going to place this on the back of the ornament here by the thread, and we're just going to glue it on around like that. Okay, and I find it easier just to take the Fabri-Tac and put some glue all the way around the edge like this. Okay, let me put the cap back on. And you can start on either side of the thread or near the thread, and just move this all the way around. And the Fabri-Tac will dry clear. Just do a little at a time. Okay, just like that. And I can take a little nail file if I need to get that off when it's dried. I'm just trying to go around here, get this off. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it to the front and kind of give it the little bit of adjustment that it may need. Okay, and I think that looks just fine. Now we're going to put a bow up here, and that'll kind of cover that part up a little bit. I bought this sparkly ribbon from AliExpress. I actually got them in 3 different colors, and they were so dirt cheap, and they're really pretty. They're 1/4 inch ribbon, and I just I'll put some Fabri-Tac on this and place this right here above the ribbon. And then right here in the middle of the ribbon, I have these little pink heart stickers that I bought from the Dollar Tree a while back. You can put anything in the middle you want, or you can just leave it. It's totally up to you. Okay. Whoop, there goes my little heart. I got a little too much of that on there, I think. Just put that right in the middle, and then that will dry. So this is what we have so far. I think it turned out really cute. And the back part, if you wanted to give it to someone special, you could write to and from and the date, you know. So I'll go ahead and let this dry, and then I'll show you the other ones that I finished up. Okay, so here we go. Now, if you noticed, I originally put a pink bow on this, but I switched it out with this blue ribbon because I think it goes a lot better than the pink. But this is the way each one of them turned out. There's the little angel knocking on the door. Aren't these cute? And don't be discouraged if you don't have a printer, because you can always buy the Christmas cards, the boxed Christmas cards with smaller images on them, and you can punch them out to use instead. And you can find them at the Dollar Tree and 99-cent store the closer that it comes to Christmas. So I really like how these turned out, and I'll be working on some other ones as well. I do want to pick up some light pink pom-pom trim from Hobby Lobby, and maybe some light blue, and you know, kind of mess with that too. So I hope you enjoyed today's ornament tutorial, and thank you so much for watching, and God bless each and every one of you. Take care now. Bye-bye.